What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero here on the Heroes for Hire podcast. My name is Shaun Meehan, and joining me, as always, is remarkably tall man, Mr. Conor Lawler.
Are you making a joke because I'm so short on Google Meets right now?
Yeah, you did do. You didn't do the put your chair down mid-intro this time, but the camera is at a low angle.
I have the laptop on a stand. I look like I'm 3'4" currently.
He's behind the audio recording box. It's a whole thing.
You gotta have that recording box. It's a magical box. It's made of foam. If this is your first episode, you should also know that I pissed off Shaun because just before he did the intro, I coughed in the middle of it.
Distracted.
I had to start again.
Right during the what's going on.
I waited. It was on purpose. But yeah, this is Hero or Zero. This is the show where we choose one comic book character every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points, and we generally just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. Now, last week, Shaun, you weren't here, so I covered Damian Wayne from DC.
A dark,
Shaun, you normally
broody boy.
It's a dark and broody boy. And Shaun, you normally choose Marvel.
I do.
And now I'm excited because you weren't here last week, and because of the corrupted file, but also because you're a lazy fucker.
Hey.
So now I'm interested this week how you're going to make up for the fact that you don't love us or the listeners or me.
We recorded the show and then it just shot itself into the quantum realm where we couldn't discover.
There's no evidence of that.
Did someone say quantum realm? Because
nobody said that.
I did.
Oh, sorry.
I was setting something up, but then you decided...
The best segue is your own.
The ones you really lay out for yourself. No, I am covering. So, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania, is coming out. One character that we see who looks to feature quite prominently in that is Cassie Lang, who is the daughter of Ant-Man. So I am covering Cassie Lang, the daughter of Ant-Man.
And sorry, is she the daughter of Ant-Man?
She is the female child of the hero known as Ant-Man.
Oh, pretty good.
So she's kind of a newer character, and she's gone through quite a lot of changes over the years, but she has a fairly solid through line throughout. It does get a bit mental and timey-wimey at one point, but we're going to work through that together. So, here we go. As a young child...
I got to be honest with you. I don't want to interrupt later on in the report, but a lot of your new reports now for newer characters are, it gets a bit fucked in the middle. Let's all just... everyone tuck in.
What they do, they create a character, it's really cool, then they need to add stakes, and the only way to do it is by killing important people.
Good thinking.
And then
Let's
they have to undo that somehow. But as a young child, Cassie Lang suffered from a congenital heart defect. To save her life, her father, Scott Lang, stole Hank Pym's Ant-Man equipment and Pym particles and used them to rescue a doctor from Cross Technological Enterprises. So the bad company in the first movie. Scott Lang, the reason he becomes Ant-Man is he steals the suit so that he can save his daughter's life.
Pretty like noble reason to do it.
Yeah, and Hank Pym is just like, hey, look, you're as good as anyone.
A very noble man. A very noble man.
Very noble, man of integrity, Hank Pym in the comics.
As we've covered in this show many times, Hank Pym, one of the nicest men in comic books.
Nicest man. Him and Reed, just together.
Him and Reed Richards, two not bastards, nice men. You can tell they've paid us off.
So, as Cassie became older, she wanted to become a superhero just like her father. With Ant-Man for a dad, Cassie was able to encounter the world's greatest heroes on a very frequent basis. She actually lived in the Fantastic Four's headquarters at one point, and this is where she struck up a friendship with a guy called Christoph Vernard. Now, Christoph Vernard is the ward of Dr. Doom.
And he's in the Fantastic Four towers.
So Dr. Doom is defeated, no one can look after this kid, so the Fantastic Four looks after him for a while. Yes.
Reed Richards, a very noble man to look after a child.
Very noble, honest family man, Reed Richards.
We should adopt him, raise him as a good man, he said.
So she developed a bit of a crush on Christoph as well, for what it's worth. Christoph also becomes Dr. Doom because he gets his memories at one point, but that's the whole thing.
Obviously.
The Fantastic Four then went missing, and Scott found himself without a job. He found employment at Oracle Inc. with the Heroes for Hire, Connor.
Interesting. I don't remember him turning up that day, but fair fucks to him.
Look, he did one episode, went in, it got yeeted, but here we are.
It was last Friday's episode.
We had Ant-Man as a guest.
Paul Rudd was here, chatting away, so he was.
So it was while he was working with the Heroes for Hire that Cassie had further adventures. She accidentally activated a being called the Super Adaptoid. Super Adaptoid basically was engineered to defeat the Fantastic Four by having all of the powers necessary to do so.
I hate when they accidentally activate a robot or some sort of android that would kill everybody.
When a child is able to accidentally turn on a killer robot.
It's such an unknown story source, but at the same time you see it a lot more than I think I'm comfortable with.
So they of course defeated the Adaptoid, and it became a kind of a point of contention between, like, because Scott Lang's still married at this point, but him and his wife are just like, maybe she shouldn't be around all this superhero nonsense, and also other reasons. They ended up divorcing, and Scott Lang goes and joins the Avengers, and Cassie actually decides to spend most of her time with her father living in Avengers Mansion.
Which you would.
Like, what fucking 12-year-old isn't going to do that?
Yeah.
She formed a strong relationship with all of the Avengers. She even referred to Tony Stark as Uncle Tony. But unbeknownst to anyone, also another great guy in comics, Tony Stark.
I was about to say she has poor taste.
Really poor taste.
In role models.
And even, like, she has a crush on basically Doctor Doom.
There's got to be a nice guy out there somewhere for her.
So, unbeknownst to anyone, Cassie used her time in Avengers Mansion to secretly expose herself to Pym particles in the hopes that she could be a superhero like her father.
Oh no, she's rolled around in radioactive stuff.
Really, pretty much, yeah. Cassie's mother, Peggy, remarried, and she and her new husband, Blake Burdick, continued to have... So I knew... Child.
Sounds like an NFL player.
Blake Burdick.
Blake Burdick.
So Blake is a cop and he doesn't like superheroes.
He's the high school quarterback. He turns into a cop.
All-American, blue collar.
He's an all-American boy, blonde hair, blue eyes. You know what I mean? He's just about dreams.
Big mustache on this
man. Of course he does. Drives a pickup truck.
So he harboured a growing resentment towards superhuman heroes and he worried for Cassie's safety. So what they did was they got a court order ruling that Scott's time with Cassie would be limited and had to be supervised visits. So Cassie then was kidnapped and held hostage by just a lunatic, basically, just being like, give me money or I'll kill Ant-Man's daughter. Okay.
And she's sitting there going, you know what, he kind of has a point though, to be fair. I'm starting to think this guy could be my nephew.
I'm really liking this guy.
I'm liking this vibe.
So Scott arrived in time to save Cassie, and he nearly took the life of the crazed man who had kidnapped her from her school. Another Avenger at the time was a guy called Jack of Hearts. Basically, energy powers, vague energy powers is all you need to know.
Good, I love a vague energy power.
He followed closely behind Ant-Man, and unwilling to let Scott make a fatal mistake in front of his daughter, the way it's described on the wiki, Jack of Hearts did the avenging for Scott. Now... Can I
just say, so there's a situation, in my head it's Paul Rudd, but Scott Lang beats the shit out of this crazy person.
Yeah.
Up until the point where the crazy person is no longer a threat.
Yeah.
Just bloody beaten on the floor, barely breathing, but still alive.
Indeed.
And Jack of Hearts shows up and is like, well, there's no point in throwing him in jail now. Better kill him.
It's just easier that way. Now, it goes wrong. He loses control of his powers, and Jack of Hearts actually dies during this. Okay?
You know what? Fair play. I don't think the team is less because of that.
But while all this is going on, the House of M event happened, which is where Wanda Maximoff went batshit insane and it destroyed 98% of all mutants. Since then, she was on the run and missing, basically, since they kind of dealt with all that. But one day, Jack of Hearts flies down from the sky, lands in the middle of Avengers Mansion. And then Scott Lang, who had felt guilty, being like, he died because of me, technically, he runs out, gives him a big hug. Jack remember, Manwit can soak up and explode energy out of him, then explodes all over Avengers Mansion, leaving skeletal remains of Ant-Man in the crater.
What?
Scott Lang just fucking dies.
That's how they kill him.
That's how they kill him.
Interesting. And I can see them bringing him back, but also, can I guess how they bring him back?
Go ahead.
I haven't, obviously, I don't know.
Yeah.
But are we saying those bones were not his bones?
No. I'll shut you down right there. They are absolutely his bones. Okay. Scott Lang dies on that day.
Time travel?
We're going to keep moving. So,
yes! Time travel.
So, after this, Cassie is left without the love and support of her father. As often happens when a father dies. After Scott's death, she began living with her mother and stepfather. Tensions were high, and they were constantly fighting. So Cassie planned to leave home and join the Runaways. They're like a underground Teen Titans style group of young heroes. However, the same night that she intended to run away, she learned about the Young Avengers, which are more of an above ground Teen Titans superhero style group.
They're both the same, but like one is like slightly cooler. She's like, well, I want the slightly cooler one.
So, and you might remember some of this because Cassie goes looking for Kate Bishop.
Yes,
she had been rescued by the Young Avengers after an event. Together they went to Avengers Mansion and found Iron Lad, Patriot, Hulkling and Asgardian. An argument soon erupted about the Young Avengers membership, and during the argument, as she was getting more and more angry, Cassie began to grow at an alarming rate, surprising everyone, including herself.
Because she rubbed herself in all those chemicals.
She rolled around in all of those unsecured chemicals.
Licking chemicals. Don't be licking chemicals, but also powers. So
this is when she told Tony Stark, who arrived after this happened, that she had been taking Pym particles for years. Tony then tells her that it was Wanda's fault that her father was killed.
Sorry, can I just... How is it Wanda's fault?
Because she was... Sorry, I might not have said that. She was controlling Jack of Hearts.
Oh, you did not mention that.
Right. It was Wanda's fault that Ant-Man was killed.
I was told Jack of Hearts died, resurrected miraculously, came back and blew up.
Right, of course. No. Wanda possessed his body and made him explode.
And made him explode?
Yes. And kill Ant-Man.
Right. And did she have a vendetta against Scott Lang?
She wanted to just kill all the Avengers because they had ruined her life.
Interesting. Okay. Makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't specifically about him. Not long after this, the Avengers Mansion was attacked by Kang the Conqueror, who will show up in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
I have seen the trailer, yes.
So during the battle, both Cassie and Kate joined in, and they helped defeat Kang and save the world, meaning they could stay on as permanent members of the Young Avengers.
But even if they didn't, they then could go to the underground, the Runaways, and they will just take any fucking ones that just
they're
can't
taking
aim.
all comers here. Like, they're desperate.
They have a few lads called Jim that just don't have any powers. They're just there.
So Captain America and Iron Man ordered the team to disband and refused to train them. However, Kate Bishop is really, really rich, so she used her money and resources to procure a lair, costumes and weapons for the team. Cassie adopted the superhero title of Stature, is her name.
Oh, that's not a bad name.
Pretty good, isn't it? Yeah. After deciding to continue her life as a superhero, Cassie's stepfather and mother began to suspect that she is secretly Stature. Because Ant-Man died, there was no one who could grow or shrink. Suddenly, their daughter is out at all hours, and someone with her exact hair colour can grow and shrink.
Yeah. And also, she kept smelling of chemicals, like, all day. She smelled like a swimming pool most of the day. They're
still rolling around in all those chemicals.
What the fuck is that, man? What is that? You need to have a shower, man. That's really fucked.
So, during the superhero civil war, Cassie and the Young Avengers initially rebelled against the Registration Act. However, after Wiccan, who was one of the team, was captured by Iron Man, they decided to join with Iron Man to help Wiccan and be safe and to just not fight all the superheroes all the time.
Well, that's because Iron Man is so nice. He's like, I'm going to kill your friend unless you team up with me.
Yeah, classic nice guy Tony Stark.
It's a classic negotiating tactic that often gets overlooked.
So then, after the Civil War, Cassie joins a group called the Initiative, which is kind of government special ops, enhanced individuals being trained, basically. So that's done at Camp Hammond. And while there, Cassie met her father's successor as Ant-Man, Eric O'Grady. Called the Irredeemable Ant-Man, because he's an absolute dog of a man. He's the worst. He's such a prick.
And Hank Pym's looking over there, arms crossed, nodding. Like, yes.
A worthy heir.
Worthy heir. Reed Rich is like, he's pretty good, isn't he? Pretty nice man.
So Eric O'Grady made several disparaging remarks about her father, not realising that she was within earshot. This caused a giant-sized brawl between the two. Hank Pym grew to his giant size and quickly intervened and stopped the fight.
Is he just like breaking up two giants, like Godzilla level height?
Pretty much, yeah. It's like holding them by the scruff of the neck. And like,
two Megazords being scolded by their parents.
Two Megazords being scolded by their parents, exactly. Mm-hmm. Okay, get on board. So, Iron Lad is Kang. Right?
Well, that's not true, though.
Go ahead.
No, that just, like, logically, that isn't true. So I know that Kang is a different person.
There's many Kangs. One of them happens to be Iron Lad.
None of them are Iron Lad.
No, he's Iron Lad. He is Iron Lad. Kang is Iron Lad.
All right.
He went back in time, or he was born and he became Iron Lad, but he's destined to become Kang. But he doesn't want to become like Kang. So he's like, I'm going to be good, right? That's his whole thing. Now, he has armour, special Iron Man armour. Yeah. And one day, at Avengers Mansion, he downloaded Vision's thought protocols into his armour, right?
Yeah, of course he did. Obviously, I'm with you. That's so simple.
He then took off the armour, and then the Iron Lad, Kang Man, he left the armour. So now he did something really incredibly dangerous with really just fucking high tech shit. Yeah. And then he took lunch. He bounced. Yeah. And the armour is now Vision. It's just now that's the Vision in this continuity for a while. Okay?
But you see, once again, I suppose if you say so enough, it will come true. But so far, none of this is true.
Basically, Young Avengers needed a Vision, and this is the easiest way to do it.
This is the easiest way. Imagine the hardest way.
So, after journeying around the world, Vision arrived at Camp Hammond to visit Cassie.
And he's just a suit.
He's just a suit, but he's disguised as Tony Stark at the time, which is even more confusing.
Sure, obviously he's disguised as Tony Stark. I was assuming he was.
Now, Iron Lad and Cassie have a bit of a thing. Okay, she really knows how to pick it. Like, she picked Doom and Kang.
Doom, Kang, Hank Pym, Reed Richards.
All great lads.
All great, absolutely noble men. Go on.
But because Vision's thought process were integrated into Iron Lad's armour, Vision confesses that he shares Iron Lad's attraction to her.
Okay.
And hopes that she can love him.
Oh, lad, okay. Was this a scene from Notting Hill?
Pretty much.
But with this guy explaining that he's not Vision, but he is Vision, but he's not Iron Lad, but he is Iron Lad.
Ready to go.
And also Iron Lad is Kang, but he's also disguised as Tony Stark.
But he doesn't want to be Kang, he wants to be good.
Cassie,
for her part, is unsure of her situation, but says she's open to the possibility.
Okay, well, you know what? That's a nice way to let this weird fucking robot
synthezoid, I believe it's the term.
Synthezoid, half Tony Stark, half Kang god down.
Yeah, it's the easiest way to happen. Now,
obviously,
I'm sure, Connor, you think that's the weirdest that this story is going to get.
No, I did, but now that you've said it in that way,
hear me out, because it'll be fine. So, Wiccan, who is the son of Scarlet Witch. His soul is made from Mephisto. His powers overloaded, and the Avengers, the big Avengers, decided to keep him under observation. The young Avengers then broke Wiccan out of holding and began to look for Wanda, the Scarlet Witch. Because they're like, she can fix him to help him control his powers, because she knows magic, and that's how it works.
and she hasn't been seen since that time she blew up that guy that was named after some cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, okay.
So they were accompanied by Magneto and Quicksilver, and they travelled to Latveria, where they discovered a depowered and amnesiac Wanda was engaged to Doctor Doom.
Of course
She was. It's of course where she'd be.
This has turned into Days of Our Lives. She's got amnesia and she's accidentally married the bad guy.
So the rediscovery of Wanda didn't go unnoticed, and the Avengers soon arrived on the scene. A battle with the Doombot army broke out and was only stopped by the arrival of Iron Lad, Connor. He's back.
Sorry, can I just... Iron Lad, this is Iron Lad.
Iron Lad. The man, the boy, the Iron Lad.
The Kang.
The Kang. Yeah, still Kang. You're with me. You have it.
Cool. I'm with you.
So, Iron Lad took the young Avengers and Wanda into the time stream in an attempt to regroup and restore Wanda's memories.
Regroup?
So let's just take a minute here, guys.
We'll all go into the fucking time stream. Like an idiot. There's like a dressing room across the way and he's like, no, I have the time stream.
Yeah, everyone else is like, do you want to go to like McDonald's and get a tip? No, the time stream.
Guys, I've got a really easy place. I'm just going to break open time and we'll just all chill in there for a little bit.
So they travel through time and they arrive at the Avengers mansion shortly before Scarlet Witch originally killed Ant-Man and most of the Avengers.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Cassie used this opportunity to save her father's life from Jack of Hearts by pulling him out of the way into the time stream.
And he's like, no, I want to give him a big hug. Cassie, get out of my way.
This trip restored all of Wanda's powers and memories, and Wanda then she remembered all the bad things she had done, and she wanted to make amends for destroying most of the mutant population. So she was unsure if she could repower mutants, as in give their powers back. And she was successful in restoring them to one member, Richter, from X Factor Investigations. But the celebration was cut short because the Avengers and the X-Men arrived and they all started fighting. So Scarlet Witch then uses her newly brought back powers to put everyone to sleep.
Of course she does. And then they all head into the time stream, have a bit of a fucking chill, have a breather.
Well, what happened is that she realises she doesn't have her reality warping powers. So who else knows magic in the world that can maybe give these back to her? Her ex-fiancé, Dr. Doom, of course.
Of course. And they have like an on again, off again, and it's just going to be a bit of drama.
Well, Doom betrayed them and stole the power for himself.
Obviously. It's called Dr. Doom. Go on.
So Doom, now with reality warping powers, goes to New York City to offer the Avengers and the X-Men a choice. Join him or perish. During the ensuing battle, his powers were overloaded and depleted. However, Stature, Cassie Lang, in this fight, gave her life to stop Doom. Basically, grew really big, took all the brunt of the powers on herself.
Right. To be honest with you, for the last 3 minutes, I've been wondering where Cassie went.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad this was leading up to the final battle where she died.
Well, now she's gone forever, of course.
Well, I was assuming she's gone forever. There's nobody that can alter reality.
Connor, you big idiot. So.
Well, there's nobody that you just mentioned that can alter reality. Go on.
Well, Iron Lad, you'll remember him. He proposed Kang. He proposed saving Cassie by travelling into the time stream. However,
that's always his plan.
Time stream, guys.
He just always is time streaming. Just like, you missed fucking dinner, you didn't cook us anything, and now you're going time streaming. You're a fucking dick, man.
So Vision says this is a bad idea. Yeah. You remember Vision is Iron Lad's armour.
Sorry. Sorry, no, not only is he Iron Lad's armour, he's dressed like Tony Stark.
He's dressed like Tony Stark a lot of the time.
So he looks like Tony Stark. He's in Iron Lad's armour and he's being a bit of a fucking shithouse going, well, I don't think we should do that, Iron Lad, okay?
And do you know what Iron Lad would do as a result? He destroys Vision. He just like, nah, you're done. You're just armour to me. And then he kills him.
Right.
Because he wants to save Cassie, because he loves Cassie.
Well, obviously he
And
loves
Vision
Cassie.
also loves Cassie. Vision also loves Cassie.
Somehow Vision, dressed like Tony Stark, also loves Cassie because he's also Iron Lad, which ipso facto, that Vision suit is also Kang.
No. The Vision suit does... No, because Iron Lad is destined to become Kang.
So that suit could be destined to become Kang.
No, because it's the man inside the suit is going to become Kang. That's the rules. Okay?
This is the worst we've done. Go on.
It gets weirder. So, Wiccan warns Iron Lad of the danger that, hey, if you go adjusting the time stream to suit your own ends, that's the kind of shit Kang the Conqueror does. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't do that. However,
like, come into the time stream, we'll have a chat about it.
We'll have a chat. Come on, guys. I know what a time stream.
Come into my office.
Iron Lad left with the intent of altering the time stream to suit his will, promising that he would be much better than Kang.
I swear.
Guys, it'll be fine.
I swear, lad.
So after this, the Young Avengers disbanded because they're like, we just lost a lot of members and it's really fucked. Then an event called World War Hate happened, and this was it was a marketing thing for comics. An inversion spell was cast. Basically, all the good guys went bad, all the bad guys went good. Isn't that hilarious? One of these involved was Dr. Doom, who became noble and set out to fix the mistakes of his past.
But he's been noble since the start, Sean, so he probably became a bad guy.
Oh, Dr. Doom, of course. Completely
What
free.
did Reed Richards do?
I think he had a panic attack and exploded.
I think he's just so stressed and anxious.
So, Doom assembled a team of Avengers, and he condensed a portion of the Scarlet Witch's power to manipulate reality into a device. And he used this device in order to right his wrongs. However, he only had enough charge to right one wrong.
That's not how magic works.
And he uses that to revive Cassie. Because he's like,
right.
I killed her and she was just doing good. That's the worst thing I've ever done.
Look, I have no offence to Cassie. Like, this whole report's been about her. But I feel like Doom's done some pretty fucked up shit. And I feel like you could have used... If you only had one shot, I think you could have done a much better thing.
Yeah, like he probably could have, I don't know, not murdered billions, probably.
Like, there's probably billions on that death sheet.
But Cassie, though. Because while Cassie was gone, Scott Lang was back. That was the fucking trade-off they made in comics, because a writer just decided, I want to write Ant-Man, though.
I don't want to write for Cassie. I would like to write for Scott.
Yeah, exactly. And so she was written out, and then they brought her back. So it was like, oh no, she was actually a cool character. She then goes through a whole bunch of stuff. Her heart gets stolen at one point.
Could have said that at the start.
I know. But she eventually reconciles with her family, her father, the Young Avengers. Everything's good. She takes up the mantle of Stinger, is what she goes by now.
Stature's way better.
It's a way better name. She has all the powers that anyone with pin particles has. Size reduction and size addition. She can grow to around 250 feet or 76 metres in height, Connor. She is above average at hand-to-hand combat. She has received military training in the initiative. Interestingly, when she grows bigger, her Achilles tendons and her nerve clusters grow in proportion, meaning, and this is for all Ant-Man people, they're just really large, easy to hit targets that can instantly cripple them, basically.
So you're saying Ant-Man gets to 250 feet, and then you just get one good arrow, so Hawkeye, one good arrow straight through the Achilles.
And then gone, dead.
Gone.
Or just like a judo chop. Like with drop a helicopter on him.
Judo chop.
Yeah. So that's how you shut him
or
down.
like you tickle the back of his knee and then his like knee buckles underneath. He's like, stop that. Jesus.
Do you know, I went to physio during the week, and apparently there's a
You've
scar.
needed that for years.
I know, he told me so.
Yes.
But apparently there's a scar on the back of my knee that I didn't know about. That just happened.
As in like what? Just like a scar?
There's a scar on me. I don't know where it came from.
What did he say about your knee, bud? Let's do it live on air. What's going on?
Yeah, it's badly. It's twisted. And he was like, look, I can't fix the twist, but we can make it so that it doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool. Tell me what to do.
It.
And then so we're cutting it off. But then he just gave me a load of exercises and kicked the shit out of me with a fucking deep tissue massage.
Oh, brother, you go to a physio, do deep tissue, you're getting the shit kicked out of you.
I am bruised. I'm back on Monday. Jesus Christ.
And you're going to fear him. The next time, you're going to walk in with a bit of just like, this guy could hurt me.
Because I know what he's capable of.
Yeah, now you know what those hands are capable of. Yeah. He's killed before, he'll kill again.
And then I hand him 60 quid. Like, what's going on?
Yay!
But on a Marvel 1 to 7 rating system, Cassie, intelligence of 2, strength of 2, speed of 2, durability of 2, energy projection of 1, and fighting skills of 3. That's her normal stance. If she's big, her strength goes up to 5, her durability goes up to 4. She can also control insects with a helmet. There we go.
Not actually that powerful.
No, honestly, just like...
Same as that man, not actually that powerful.
But really, like, I suppose, threatening, I suppose.
More annoying than anything.
Yeah, and that's why I think a lot of the good Ant-Man stories are the spy stuff, where it's like infiltration rather than a flat-out fight.
Yeah, like if it's coming to a fight, I want Thor before I want Ant-Man.
Absolutely. No, you know, nicest guy in Marvel Comics, Thor, of course.
No, nicest guy, well, no, Reed and Doom are the two nicest guys.
Ben Grimm, absolute bastard.
He actually is a bastard. When they inverted it, he became good.
I wish he stayed like that forever. But yeah, sorry, that was kind of a mess of a report, but it's kind of a mess of a character. Like, that's just how she's written. Like,
you know what? That's one of my favourite reports you've ever done, just because it was so fucked.
It was twisted. There was so much to explain as well, like the whole Iron Lad vision scenario.
My favourite moment, and I don't know if a lot of people caught this, but his introduction to the House of M was just like, there was this story, House of M, 95% of the mutants disappeared. Okay, anyway, moving on.
There's no time for it.
Biggest story in comic books.
What do you want me to do? You want to break down on House of M right now?
Just, you're covering years. No, Shaun, that was a really good report. I mean, I really like Cassie Lang. I think she's really good.
She's really cool. I think she'll be good in the film. I think she's probably carrying on the mantle. I think Ant-Man is definitely dead or stuck in the quantum realm.
Do you think Iron Lad might pop up as Kang?
Jesus, I hope so.
I hope, and he's kind of got Vision's face.
Oh, it's just Paul Bettany mixed, like face morphed with a younger Robert Downey Jr.
I want the aging in Civil War, but done to Paul Bettany, but he looks like Iron Man. And then he also talks like Jonathan Majors.
That's all I'll accept, yeah.
If that doesn't happen, it's a shit movie. That's all, I just want to say that out loud. Would you like me to take us out, Shaun?
Yes, please, Connor.
So if you like what you heard here, we have done reports on hundreds of other comic book characters. You can go to basically any of your podcast apps that you can use. You can give us a like and review, whatever podcast platform that you're listening to this on. And then more importantly, you can go check out all the episodes we've done, because there's quite a lot of them, and they cover all of DC and Marvel characters. I think we've covered a fair few at this point.
Maybe too many, actually.
Maybe too many.
This one went.
You think we'd be better? And so you can also give us a like and review or a like on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. They're all Here's for Hire podcast. And we also have a Facebook group, which is Detective Divilment's discussion group. You can join that now, but most importantly, you can just tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
Just the one. So I've been Conor Lorraine.
I've been Shaun Meighan.
And we shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.